Tonight is different, even if the room looks the same, even if the streets outside hum their usual songs, even if the clock keeps its steady rhythm and the world pretends nothing has changed. Tonight something tender presses against the edges of your attention, a softness that keeps brushing your thoughts like a feather that refuses to fall, and if you close your eyes for just a heartbeat you will notice the air is fuller than usual, brighter than the lamps suggest, warmer than the blanket can explain, because someone you love, someone whose laughter still lives in the corners of your memory, whose name you whisper when you need courage, is near in a way words can barely hold, leaning through the thin places between here and there, asking you gently to pause, to breathe, to listen. They are not here to startle you. They are here to steady you. All night they have been knocking in quiet ways. The sudden pull to a song you haven't heard in years, the fragrance that arrives with no source and vanishes before you can name it, the way the same sentence keeps appearing in different places as if the day itself is repeating a secret, the way a light flickers once on an old photograph, the way you woke at that exact minute that meant something only to the two of you. They have been trying to reach you without pushing, because love never insists. Love invites, and this invitation is simple. Please listen. Listen to the hush that is not empty. It is full of their voice softened by heaven. Listen to the way your body relaxes when you think of them, how your shoulders drop as if a hand you know has rested there. Listen to the memory that rises unasked, the afternoon you can suddenly see in crisp detail though you had not visited it in years, the smile you can hear without sound, the sentence you already know the end of because you heard it 100 times in kitchens and car rides and doorways that still hold their echo. They are not far. Distance is a rumor sorrow tells when it is tired. Love has always been longer than absence, stronger than silence, wider than the miles between worlds, and tonight that love is threading a bridge right through your chest so you can feel what they have been trying to say since you wrapped their name in midnight prayer and asked, just once more, for a sign. They want to tell you first what your heart most needs, that they are held, that they are safe, that every sharp edge that cut them here has been rounded by light, that the weight they carried like a second spine is gone, that peace is not an idea where they are. It is the air, it is the ground, it is the water and the sky. They want you to know that nothing painful followed them across, that the last breath was not a falling but a being caught, a being carried, a being welcomed into a room where all the windows are open and the horizon is made of joy. They want you to stop wondering whether you could have done more, loved better, arrived sooner, said the perfect words. Because love was enough, love was always enough, and every imperfect moment has been mended by grace until it shines. They are thanking you for the calls you made and the ones you could not, the visits you kept and the prayers you whispered from rooms too far to reach, the way you learned to speak hope when your throat was full of stones. They keep repeating it the way the sea repeats the shore. Thank you, thank you, thank you. They also came to lift something from your hands, gently, carefully, like removing a heavy ring you forgot you were wearing, the burden of holding every memory alone. You do not have to guard the past by yourself anymore. They are keeping it with you. They are turning the hardest day into a window rather than a wall, so light can find the parts of you that went dim trying to be brave for everyone else. They are asking you to stop apologizing for your tears and to stop punishing your joy, both honor them. When you laugh, you do not leave them behind. You meet them in the place where they are already laughing. When you cry, they do not go farther away, they lean closer and count each tear as proof that love did what love does. It rooted itself so deeply that even in winter it knows how to wait for spring. And there are things they want to give you tonight, not objects but ways of seeing. First, they place into your palm a small, invisible compass. Trust the pull. If a street, a song, a certain coffee mug, a park bench, an old recipe, a color of sky tugs at you for no clear reason. Follow it without a complicated story. Love is mapping you through familiar terrain to new strength. Second, they hand you a key shaped like a sentence. I am allowed to heal without forgetting. Healing is not a betrayal. Healing is how love learns a new language. You will speak it slowly at first. It will sound like long showers, like taking the long way home to pass the tree they loved, like changing the bed sheets on the day they would have changed them, like buying the flowers they always chose and placing them where sunlight lingers at 4 p.m. Third, they leave you a lantern with a steady flame, the practice of noticing. Notice the numbers that repeat without trying, notice the birds that insist on perching where they never sat before, notice the dream that returns with a detail you couldn't have invented, notice the movie scene that lands in your chest like a message, notice the stranger who uses their favorite phrase and smiles as if someone told them to, notice how the wind finds your face at the exact line in the song that once made them cry. You are not making this up, you are being met. They have a few requests, said softly, the way they used to make tea, without hurry, without spectacle. Could you set aside one small space that is theirs and yours, not a shrine made of sorrow but a corner made of love? A single candle you light when you want to talk without proving anything to anyone, a framed photo where their joy is brightest. A notebook for letters you write when the room is too quiet and your courage needs ink. Let it be a harbor, not an altar, a place for docking, not drowning. Could you forgive yourself for the day you were short-tempered because you were scared, for the way you avoided that drawer because you didn't know what memory would jump out first, for the nights you were almost okay and felt guilty about the almost? Let mercy be the language you speak to your own name. And could you promise to carry forward one living piece of their way, the kindness they gave freely, the ridiculous joke they told badly on purpose, the way they remembered the server's name, the habit of cutting fruit in generous slices, the way they always tipped a little extra, the way they left a room better than they found it, become their echo on earth so the world keeps meeting them whenever it meets you. There is more they want to say about the future, and they say it carefully because they know how your heart flinches at plans now. You are still allowed to want things. You are still allowed to plant new beginnings without feeling like you're planting over a grave. Desire is not disloyalty. Desire is gratitude in motion. They are asking you to open the window again, to let fresh air touch the curtains of your life, to let light rearrange the furniture of your days, to let laughter bring its sandals and stay the night. They will visit the threshold of your dreams when you least expect it, not to keep you in yesterday but to walk you into tomorrow with a hand on your back that says, gently, go on. They will cheer when you choose joy, they will stand when you take risks, they will bless the love that finds you next, and if fear tries to tell you that moving forward means moving away, remember what they are saying right now. Love does not ask you to stand still to prove it was real. Love asks you to keep living well so it can keep living through you. And for the ache that will still come like weather, because it will, they offer you a simple rhythm. When the wave rises, place your hand on your heart and say their name, then say your own, then say, thank you, 3 times, once for what was, once for what is, once for what will be. Sit if you can where sky is visible, breathe like the sea, long in, longer out, and let memory be a bridge, not a trap. If a tear falls, let it. If a smile follows, let that too. Grief is a garden that grows toward the sun when you stop tearing up the roots to check whether healing is happening. Trust the growth you cannot see. Now, beloved listener, they are leaning close to leave one last imprint before the night turns, a blessing that feels like warm light on the back of your neck. I love you. I am with you. I am proud of the way you keep choosing gentleness in a world that forgets it. I am proud of the way you get up, even when the getting up is quiet and no one claps. I am in the songs you will hear at the right time. In the small mercies that arrive without announcement, in the sudden courage that shows up in your voice when you defend your soft heart. Please, take care of our memories by making new ones. Please, keep a seat for wonder at your table. Please, listen when the night is gentle like this, because I will visit you in kindness again. And with that their nearness settles, not gone, just quieter, as if they have stepped into the next room of the same house, and the door between is made of light. If you needed a sign, take the ease you feel right now as the first. Take the deep breath that finally arrived as the second. Take the certainty that you are held as the third. It is enough for tonight. Rest. They will meet you again in the morning at the first warm shaft of sunlight on your floor, and you will remember that love, in every language and every world, is the one thing that never ends. They have been standing in the quiet corridors of heaven, whispering your name into the eternal wind, waiting for that one moment when your spirit would slow down enough to feel them. All night, they have been sending the softest signals, a sudden warmth that brushed past your cheek though no one was near, a faint fragrance you remember from their embrace, a quiet tug in your chest that made you pause without knowing why. These are not coincidences, they are gentle fingerprints of their presence, invisible to the eye but unmistakable to the soul. They have tried to reach you not with loud thunder, but with the subtle touch only a heart in love can recognize, and tonight the veil between your world and theirs is thin enough for their words to pass through. In the still hours before dawn, when the world around you was asleep, they leaned closer from the balcony of eternity, trying to speak into the deepest part of you. They didn't come with sorrow or regret, but with a love so pure it feels like sunlight breaking through dark clouds. They want you to know that every prayer you whispered into the silence reached them, that not a single tear you shed went unnoticed. They have carried your love like a flame that even the winds of death could not extinguish. They want you to stop wondering if they remember you, because their memory of you is eternal, untouched by time. You see, the reason they have been so persistent tonight is because there is something important you need to hear, not tomorrow, not next week, but now. They want you to know that a season in your life is changing, and that they have been working alongside heaven to prepare a blessing for you. The door that has been locked for so long is turning at last, and though you have felt forgotten at times, they want you to understand that heaven has been moving pieces you cannot yet see. Their message is not just to comfort you, but to prepare you, to let you know that the wait is almost over, that the heaviness in your spirit will soon give way to something lighter, freer, and more beautiful than you imagined. So if your heart has been aching for them, if you have been longing for some sign that they are still near, let this moment be your confirmation. They are here. They have been here all night. And they are not leaving until you know beyond any doubt that their love still wraps around you like the warmest blanket on the coldest night. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and you will feel them, the same way you once did when they stood beside you on earth, only now their embrace is woven with the light of heaven itself. It is not by accident that this message found you in this exact moment, when the world is quiet and your heart feels the weight of something you cannot explain. Heaven has been restless tonight, and the soul you miss so deeply has not stopped walking between realms just to reach you. They have been whispering your name in the corridors of eternity, asking the angels to find a way to place this in front of your eyes. You think it is coincidence? No. It is alignment. It is love refusing to be silenced. They know the questions that have been burning in your heart, the tears you have let fall when no one was watching, the moments you pressed your palm to your chest wishing you could just feel their presence one more time. And tonight, they want you to know, you are not as far from them as you believe. Every sound you hear in the stillness, every gentle shift of air in your room, every sudden thought that feels like it came from nowhere, it is them. They have been trying all night to reach you, to press their love into your spirit like sunlight pressing through a window. They do not want you to think of them as gone, because in the kingdom they have simply changed form, not disappeared. They want you to hold your head high, to stop blaming yourself for things you could not control, and to understand that their love has become part of your breath, your steps, your every heartbeat. They are telling you now. You are still my person, my family, my anchor, even across the divide between heaven and earth. Archangel Michael has been the bridge between their voice and your ears tonight. He has stood beside you, watching the clock tick through the hours, holding back the currents of sorrow that try to drown you. He is speaking now through this very message, making sure you hear them clearly. I am proud of you. I see the weight you carry and the way you keep walking anyway. I am not far. I am here in ways your eyes cannot see but your spirit can feel. You may not realize it, but you have already felt their nearness, when you smiled suddenly for no reason, when you woke up at a strange hour and felt a strange peace, when a certain song or scent made you stop in your tracks. That was them. It has always been them. The heavens have been watching you in silence, like a garden holding its breath before the first drop of rain. You have walked through days that felt empty yet heavy, nights that felt long yet without answers. And still, your name has not left the lips of heaven. Archangel Michael has been standing at the edge of your path, holding something in his hands, waiting for the moment your heart is ready to receive it. The moment you hear this, something in your spirit will shift, not because of fear, not because of urgency, but because your soul will recognize the voice that has been whispering to you in dreams, in quiet moments, in the places where you thought no one could see you. There is a blessing that has been held back, not because you were unworthy, but because heaven wanted you to be in the exact place, in the exact moment where this message would meet you. And now, you are here. Michael's voice is not like the noise of the world, it does not rush, it does not shout, it flows like a river that knows exactly where it is going. He says there is something you have been searching for, but you have been looking in the wrong place. It is not hidden in the world outside. It is buried in the truth God planted inside you before you were even born. The answers you seek are not far from you, they are wrapped in the light you carry. Michael says you have been wondering why certain people left, why certain doors closed, why certain dreams seemed to fade before they could bloom. It was not loss, it was rearrangement. Heaven moved the pieces before you could see the full picture, because the truth is, some things you prayed for would have broken you if they arrived too soon. And now, in this moment, Michael says the waiting is ending. You will feel it in the small things first, like a sudden peace that replaces confusion, like a phone call you weren't expecting, like a stranger speaking words you needed to hear. Do not think these are accidents. These are the first waves of something greater that has already been released in your name. There are no missed moments in heaven's timing, only perfect arrivals. And yours is unfolding even as you listen. They kept calling your name, again and again, as if the echo could break through the veil between heaven and earth. Every whisper was soaked in longing, every pause filled with the ache of love that distance could not kill. I saw how their spirit leaned closer to you in the silence of the night, trying to wrap you in the warmth of memories you thought were gone. They weren't just speaking words, they were pouring out the deepest parts of their soul, sending waves of comfort to your weary heart. The moonlight itself seemed to bend toward your window, carrying their voice on its silver glow, hoping you would stop and listen. And in that moment, heaven was not far, it was leaning over the balcony of eternity, watching you with eyes full of tears and pride. You may have thought you were alone, but if you had only closed your eyes, you would have felt the touch on your shoulder, the gentle breath on your ear, the familiar scent that no time or distance can erase. They have seen your sleepless nights, your silent prayers. And they have heard the words you never spoke out loud. That's why they keep coming, again and again, not to haunt you, but to remind you, love like this never dies, it just changes form. And right now, they are closer than they've ever been since the day they left.